got more solo records than most of them that really hit. Remember that? Mm-hmm. You dig? Like I got a lot of gold singles and I got some action with me. You dig? It's gonna be hard for a lot of people from New York to win with Capo. And I got freestyles I could do. In New York City, it's gonna be hard. I would say that for anybody.
You know, on the record,
it sounds like he want to do one with 50 Cent. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like Jim.
I don't want to do nothing with that sucker. You heard? Leave him out the conversation.
I just seen the Breakfast Club. Jimmy popping all that boo. I be seeing you, Jimmy talking about we Gucci boo boo. He in the Gucci store. About we Gucci boo boo. The Black King they was going fuck up. Jimmy they was like, Marita Monero.
Diplomats, know nobody else. Me, Jim Jones, check my track record, then check everybody else's track record. Then go to the billboards and check all my entries, then check all them entries. And like if you want to go to the billboard entries, pull up Nas billboard entries, then pull up my billboard entries.
Can we address one thing though?
Go ahead.
Jim Jones has 9 entries in the Billboard 200 with 3 top 10 albums and no number ones, while Nas has 27 entries, 16 top 10 albums, and 6 that have reached number 1 on the.
He was not a rapper then.
Right.
He was your man, like on the side, like in the side, just he was not a rapper at all.
Right.
So when Ballin' took place, and I'm looking and I'm going, oh, he having a moment. That's the Lloyd Banks. It's like
when 50 Cent sends a warning, the whole rap world freezes, and this time the spotlight's locked straight on Jim Jones. It all kicked off after Jim got slick during an interview, taking shots that everyone knew were aimed at 50. He said something along the lines of, "A lot of these dudes be acting tough for the cameras. We know who really outside." That one line, it blew up the internet instantly. Fans knew exactly who he was referring to, because if there's one rapper who's both business smart and street certified, it's Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. And let's be real, 50 doesn't do subliminals. He makes statements that shake the industry. He's never been one to let disrespect slide. Within just hours, 50 clapped back in the most 50 way possible. Not with a diss track, not with a long rant, but with a cold, savage Instagram post that sent shockwaves through the culture. He wrote, "Some of y'all better chill before I remind the city what really happened." No names, no tags, no emojis, just pure threat energy. But everyone knew exactly who that message was aimed at. The timing, perfect. The tone, ice cold. The caption, straight danger vibes. It was clear as day. 50 was saying, "Jim, watch your step."
What would you expect to see with a Cameron and 50 Cent collaboration?
I don't know what to expect to see from them two suckers. I wouldn't care what to expect to see from them. I wish them the best. Just stay out my way, please.
That's all?
He wanted that. He was watching them be that, like Mace be that and Cam be that, and looked at, and it was finally, he had one.
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked, and I knew, I just took the shot murder to see, because I wasn't sure he was going to go for it. Mm-hmm. But I was like, you like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam. You got to watch and see how he was and then when you see, you're like, oh, he really like that. Give me this, give me Jimmy. Yeah, tell him we want you at the show, Jimmy. Yeah, but that was one of those things I just threw it out and see what. And then when he bit to it, because it was like he was having a moment that not sure that was going to ever happen again at that point. And then he's going, for them, they have records that where, look, I always said it's a certain artist, I go, damn, when is he going to have his moment? Like,
the comment section went crazy. Fans dropped fire emojis, popcorn gifs, and messages like 50 about to expose somebody, and Jim better stay quiet before the receipts start flying. Because everyone knows, when 50 says, remind the city, he's not talking about music beefs. He's hinting at those real-life street situations rappers pray never see daylight. 50 isn't just talking. He's playing chess while everyone else is still figuring out the board. Every move is strategic. Every word calculated. When he fires a warning like that, it's not for clout. It's a shot across the battlefield. Even hip-hop blogs and fan pages went wild. Headlines read things like 50 Cent back in villain mode, and Jim Jones might have woken up the wrong giant. The clip spread across every major platform, and within hours, even people close to Jim were allegedly calling him, telling him to fall back. Because if there's one rule in hip-hop, it's this: don't poke the man who built an empire out of beef and still came out on top. And now the streets are whispering, what did 50 really mean by remind the city? Was he hinting at some old Harlem story? A behind-the-scenes moment no one was supposed to talk about? One thing's for sure, when 50's in this mood, he doesn't just talk. He exposes. And everyone knows when that happens, careers tremble.
Don't, man. Hip hop, of course, you know, is a competitive sport. But on the other end of it, it's like certain people shouldn't be able to say your names until they've done something in the genre of music. I've done too much in this music to even have to answer that question. Like Jim Jones, who is Jim Jones? Like, he's not on anyone's top 10 list. He's like no one's top 10 list. Maybe not even his family. I was saying last night, it's like the 8th guy on the bench just screaming at Jordan, like, you a bum. Like, you wanna be like the 9th guy on the bench. I'm not even worried.
There's serious history behind this beef. 50 and Jim have been orbiting around each other for years. From that old school Dipset versus G-Unit tension to deep street whispers that never made the blogs. This rivalry runs way deeper than rap. But here's where it gets crazy. This ain't 2005 anymore. 50 Cent isn't just a rapper in bulletproof vests and mixtapes anymore. He's a full-blown mogul, a TV kingpin, a one-man media empire. When 50 speaks now, millions tune in. His words hit harder because he's not just another rapper in the comment section. He's the one who controls the narrative. So when he posted that warning, it didn't just slap Jim, it shook the whole culture. People were like, yo, 50 got more power now than ever. Meanwhile, Jim's still out here talking slick like it's the DVD era, man.
And Jim Jones right here. Bought you the biggest record of last year, right?
Oh yeah, we had a nice time last year.
What we call that?
I was balling. We still balling.
Yeah,
What's my big baby?
Yes, sir. Was balling. You know, so
man, we got Jimmy was not a rapper then.
Right.
He was your man, like on the side, like on the side, just he was not a rapper at all.
Right.
So when balling took place, and I'm looking and I'm going, oh, he having a moment. That's the Lloyd Banks. It's Lloyd Banks thing. He was watching them be that, like Mace be that, and Cam be that, and looked at, and it was finally, he had one. But I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam. You gotta watch and see how it was. Get you, Jimmy.
why don't you hear right? We gotta do that one time. Tell me, show you how you do it.
You got to pass me the ball for
Tell me, we gotta do that.
That was the ball, baby.
You know what I mean?
He was having a moment that not sure that was going to ever happen again at that point. And then he's going, for them, they had records that where, look, I always said it's to certain artists, I go, damn, when is he going to have his moment? Like Fab, I said this.
That's why this situation feels different. 50 isn't reacting like a rapper defending ego. He's moving like a boss who can crush reputations with a single post. His clapbacks aren't tweets. They're career risks. Jim might have thought it was just a funny soundbite for the internet, but when 50 fired back, the whole vibe shifted instantly. Suddenly, it wasn't jokes anymore, it was mystery. The question changed from, what did Jim say? To, what does 50 know? And once that question starts echoing in hip-hop circles, you know something real might be on the horizon. To really understand why this hit so hard, you gotta rewind way back, to when New York ruled hip-hop. Early 2000s, baby. It was 50 Cent and G-Unit versus Cameron and Dipset. Two unstoppable movements. Two different empires running separate corners of the city. Queens and Harlem both had crown energy, both repping luxury, street grit, and style. It wasn't open war, but the rivalry was palpable. You could feel the ego in every freestyle, every award show, every radio drop. Jim Jones, being Dipset's loudest soldier, always made sure to talk Harlem talk. He wanted everyone to know Harlem wasn't bowing to Queens. No way. But the thing is, 50 didn't need to remind anyone who he was. His resume spoke louder than words. He built an empire from scratch, survived shootouts, broke record sales, went toe-to-toe with the industry, and still came out untouched. Jim could talk about being real all he wanted, but 50 lived it. From Southside Jamaica, Queens to TV mogul status, he turned street hustle into global dominance. And that's exactly why his warning felt more like a verdict than a threat. Because when 50 Cent decides to press the button, it's never about words anymore. It's about legacy and power.
Give me the Cam right now. He just did the interview with 50.
For the younger audience, we had like a rap battle thing at one time. And 50, what you did, so we was having interior problems in Dipset. Nobody knew about this. Nobody knew that we was like not on the same page.
Right.
So when me and you were battling during our music thing, you got members of Dipset to come together.
Them niggas be on my dick, right? Them niggas ain't got nothing else to think about but Capo. I did a lot for them niggas and they like, you heard? Both of them. Pause though, get off my dick. It's only space on you for baby girl, man. Come on, man. Tugging on my shit like that.
Yo, you never clear shit up. We never hear your side of the story. Kim's like, I thought we could pull it together. Next thing I know, I see Jim performing with
That
him.
nigga ain't think nothing. He could pull nothing together. He couldn't do nothing with me. He couldn't tell me nothing, nigga. Let's not get this shit twisted. Like, nigga, nobody could tell me nothing, nigga. I was my own boss. I did what I did as a fucking soldier because I was a soldier, nigga. You heard? I had the soldiers, nigga. They didn't tell me nothing. You heard? I did what I wanted to do. I seen the shit wasn't going right, so I started doing what Jim Jones needed to do for Jim Jones. Because the nigga that was supposed to be the Don wasn't taking care of the capo. Started feeling like
50 lived everything he raps about, every single word. That's why when Jim started throwing slick comments, fans instantly labeled it as jealousy. Because deep down, everybody knows 50 earned his stripes the hard way. No handouts, no cosigns, just hustle and survival. Fast forward to now, 50's sitting on top of the world. A multimillionaire, producing hit shows like Power, BMF, and more, turning his name into a global brand. Meanwhile, Jim's still chasing clout by dropping names in interviews, trying to keep himself in the conversation. That's exactly why 50's post didn't feel like a regular rap beef. It felt like a boss checking an employee. The energy wasn't petty, it was commanding. It had that know your lane tone that hits way harder than any diss track ever could. Insiders say this post didn't come out of nowhere either. It's been brewing. Word is, 50 had been hearing Jim's slick remarks for months now. Between his side comments about Maze, Cameron, and now 50 himself, Jim's been poking too many heavy hitters from the same Harlem tree. And now it's catching up to him fast. Online, people started roasting him, calling him Harlem's noisy neighbor, saying Jim talks more than he raps these days. And honestly, they're not wrong. The real issue is, Jim keeps trying to prove something that doesn't even need proving anymore. He's constantly yelling about being outside, reminding everyone he's real Harlem. But the truth is, in 2025, that old school street talk doesn't hit the same. The game has evolved. Nowadays, it's about moves, not mouth. Power plays, not punchlines. And that's where 50 shines brightest. He doesn't just talk about dominance, he demonstrates it. That's why when he posted that warning, fans said it felt like the old 50 was back. That get rich or die trying energy that made the whole industry nervous.
Jim Jones drops a 50 Cent and Cameron diss track. So you got Jim Jones dropping a diss track against 50 and Cam. Y'all know 50 went on Cam's show. Cam brought up the situation where you had Jim Jones performing with 50 while Cam and 50 were beefing. Jim Jones ain't like that, started going in on Cam.
I've been doing some soul searching, and I think I won out the group, okay? Hey, cause you just kicking us out the group. He just wear G on his hat, and
50 shot my brother. I'm gonna find that nigga.
it take too long to respond to Jimmy. So put it in the comment section. Talk about me every day. Why? Because I'm on a jet right now. That's why. I am the algorithm. So what you gotta do? You gotta blow a shot at me. When you do the most numbers, they gonna talk about you. I'm saying niggas just talking mad shit though. Don't have that shit up. Like you ain't even like that. I'm not gonna drink on. I'm not valid for that. $25,000 bottle. Wait, I'm not valid for that. Nah, get that nigga the other one. Why I gotta have extra trucks? Because Jimmy and Bleak looking for.
The tone, the confidence, the suspense, it all reminded people why his name still commands respect and fear. 50 isn't the type to argue online. He's the type to pull files. And when he said, remind the city, it wasn't just talk. It was a reminder that he's still deeply connected to everything in New York. From the block to the boardroom, 50's got ties that run deep. And Jim's response? Pure silence. No post, no live, no clapback, nothing. That quiet said more than 100 interviews ever could. Because when 50 calls you out and you go ghost, that's not peace, that's pressure. The kind that makes the whole city sit still, waiting to see if 50's about to expose something that'll shake Harlem to its core. And right now, Jim is feeling every ounce of that pressure. The silence from him says it all, but the internet sure isn't quiet. The moment 50's warning went viral, the online detectives clocked in fast. Within hours, blogs, fan pages, and even old-school hip-hop heads started digging up the real history between these two. And what they uncovered made this whole story way deeper than anyone expected. See, for years, there have been whispers, rumors that 50 and Jim's tension wasn't just about music. There were alleged street business deals that went sideways, money talks that didn't end well, and alliances behind the scenes that got messy. Nothing was ever confirmed publicly, but when 50 said, "Remind the city," people knew he wasn't just talking out of ego. He was hinting at something specific.
That's I'm here by a lot of prayers and a lot of luck.
50, remember that whole situation? I was around for that.
Yeah, 50 was they had their own thing. Like the city was different at that time.
Hold on, don't try to speak to it.
Oh boy.
Here you go. Touch your mouth. I'll let you finish.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Do you feel like you know, I'm trying to think I'm gonna ask because you're my man. So,
right.
No, don't do that. That's my business, man. Don't do that to me, Dice. Do you think that? So, at the whole time, like 50 tried to do a chess move, right? But you know the whole thing with him and Cam, and at the time, you know, because remember Cam called up and that whole situation, and he was saying all these things. Do you think that could have led to any? Like, you think Killer was mad at that? Because you ain't say nothing at that time. At the time, you ain't say nothing. When 50 did a Cam, he's gone. Now he's going when Current is, you ain't say nothing. He was like, Jimmy's and all that. You ain't say nothing. We was on you. We was watching you.
That phrase alone had fans going wild online. Some swore it had to do with old Harlem Street ties that go back decades, while others claimed it was about label drama, back when 50 and Cameron clashed live on Hot 97. Remember that legendary argument where Cam barked, "You can't ban the whole Dipset," and 50 laughed like he already won the war? Yeah, Jim was right there, backing Cam up like Harlem's frontline soldier. So even though years passed, that energy never fully died down. 50 kept it moving, stacking money and running TV shows. While Jim, he kept throwing little shots in interviews, keeping that old tension alive like unfinished business. And now, it's starting to feel like karma just circled back. People online are saying the same thing. Jim should have just left 50's name out his mouth. Because everyone knows how petty and strategic 50 can be. This is the same man who's publicly humiliated rappers, CEOs, and even billionaires. Nobody is untouchable. From Ja Rule to Diddy, 50's made it clear, once he marks you as a target, he's not stopping until he's completely exposed you. And if history repeats itself, Jim might be next in line for 50's signature takedown.
Nothing now. I don't know why you didn't at that time. I know now you don't care. You can. But do you feel like it was a chess move on his part? Because you ain't say nothing. Do you feel like everything happened in perspective? Because, you know, after that, Killer just.
Nah, it wasn't a chess move. Like, I'm looking at a perspective. 50 said something about Koch, and Cam took offense to that. And at that time, I was riding regardless. So me not saying nothing mean I'm ready to go. You heard? If I say something,
But you still have balling out, Capo. You had a voice. You didn't say nothing.
Yeah, because you're not listening to me. Because I was ready to go. I'm still Capo, bro. I was ready to go. So you gotta watch what you say out here. I'm still a smart man. You dig? Like, you project that on any type of camera, any type of, you get just caught up with anything. Ends up coming from them type of situations and like that. Like, this was all tricky, but when he said that shit about the Koch and Cam took offense to it, I was like, man, I don't really, in my mind, I was like, I didn't really understand the correlation of why he would take so much offense, because he didn't say the diplomats, where he said some Koch is a cemetery label, whatever, like that. I was like, we could have probably flipped that so many ways, but it was just the way Cam was feeling, and any way Cam was feeling at that time, I was ready to do it. And
what's wild is, 50 didn't even have to say much. That one cold Instagram post was enough to cause chaos. Suddenly, rappers started unfollowing Jim. Bloggers pulled up old clips of him talking reckless. Even some of his Harlem peers went silent overnight. You could feel the tension all through social media, like everyone's just waiting to see if 50's about to drop another exposed moment that could flip the whole narrative upside down. And if that happens, oh, trust, it's going to break the internet in half. Because when 50 goes into villain mode, he doesn't just make headlines, he owns them. A few days later, fans noticed something wild. 50 deleted that post. And just like that, the internet went into full detective mode again. Because when 50 Cent deletes something, it's never random, it's strategic. Everyone knows 50 doesn't backtrack. He plots. When he erases a post, it means one of two things. He's either lining up something way bigger, or the moves have already started behind the scenes. That's what separates 50 from most rappers. They talk for attention. He moves for impact. He's mastered the art of silence as a weapon. No yelling, no rants, just tension. And right now, Jim's sitting in that tension. And even though people close to Jim claim he's unbothered, the streets ain't buying it. Because when 50 Cent gets involved, even silence feels loud. Every podcast mention, every random tweet, every shady caption, it all gets twisted into speculation. Fans are refreshing pages, waiting for that next move, that next digital bomb to drop. And here's the real kicker. This isn't even about music anymore. It's personal. It's about pride, respect, and reputation. Jim built his entire image on being the tough Harlem rep, the voice of the streets, the one who keeps it real. But now the internet's flipping the narrative, calling him the man who woke up 50 Cent. And let's be honest, that's not a title anyone wants. Because when you wake 50 up, he doesn't just roast you, he rebuilds his empire on your downfall. So now everyone's asking the same question. What happens next? Is 50 really about to expose something huge? Or was this just his way of warning Jim to back down before it's too late? Either way, the message has been delivered loud and clear. 50 Cent does not play about respect. He made it clear that not everyone deserves to speak his name, especially not without permission. The difference between these two is crystal clear. 50's not just a rapper anymore. He's a global brand, a walking business. Every single move he makes doubles as a headline, a marketing moment, and a masterclass in control. When someone drags his name into drama, he doesn't just clap back, he profits off it. That's how you stay relevant for 20 years straight. Meanwhile, Jim keeps turning pressure into problems. Instead of flipping the moment into a win, he lets it drag him deeper into controversy. People online have even started comparing their careers side by side, and the contrast couldn't be more brutal. 50 Cent, 2 decades of wealth, dominance, and fear. Still relevant, still respected, still in power. Jim Jones, grinding, no doubt, but lately, his biggest moments come from interviews, not hits. And that right there says everything. One man's silence moves the world, while the other man's noise fades into the scroll. That's why fans are saying this whole situation exposed a bigger truth. Jim's out here chasing validation, while 50 already owns it. The difference is clear. Jim wants recognition, but 50 is recognition. And the wildest part? Some fans think 50's warning wasn't even just for Jim, it was for everybody in the industry. A cold reminder that even in 2025, 50 Cent still controls the narrative whenever he decides to speak. Think about it. One cryptic sentence from 50 can shift the entire internet for a week straight. That's real power. No promo, no hashtags, no campaigns. Just a caption that leaves everyone guessing and gossiping. That's how you know the man's influence never faded. Meanwhile, Jim's got the entire hip-hop world watching his next move under a microscope. If he claps back, 50's going to unload. But if he stays quiet, people will say he's scared or soft. Either way, it's checkmate. That's why folks say 50 doesn't beef, he plays chess. He doesn't just react, he predicts. He's always 3 steps ahead, calculating every post, every headline, every silence. Even celebs started chiming in, dropping subtle hints that Jim better fall back while he still can. Because everyone in the game knows, 50's not the type to forget. He's the type to wait. He'll sit back, gather information, connect dots, and when the timing is perfect, boom, he strikes. And when he does, it's not small talk. It's career-ending receipts. So yeah, there's a reason 50's warning went viral. It wasn't just an Instagram post. It was a statement, a power move, a reminder that some names still carry unmatched weight in this industry, and some rivalries just never die. 50 didn't need to yell or tag anyone. His message was loud and simple. Don't play with me. I built too much to entertain clowns. Now the entire hip-hop world's holding its breath, waiting to see what happens next. Will Jim take the L quietly? Or will he make the mistake of poking the bear again? Because one thing's for sure, when 50 Cent steps into the spotlight, he doesn't share it. He owns it. Will Jim Jones try to defend his pride? Or will he stay quiet before 50 turns that warning into a full-blown expose? That's the question echoing across hip-hop right now. Because when 50 says, I'll remind the city, everybody knows, he's not bluffing. He's sitting on something heavy. And let's be real, when it comes to 50 Cent, silence is never peace. It's preparation. The man built an empire off knowing exactly when to strike. Whether it's dropping hit shows, calling out his rivals, or turning beef into brand power, he always moves with purpose. That's why fans are glued to their screens, waiting to see if this tension turns into the next viral chapter in hip-hop history. Some are saying Jim might try to defend himself, maybe post something slick to save face. But others think he's better off staying out of it completely, because once 50 gets locked in, he doesn't stop until the whole internet's talking about his side of the story. And let's be honest, we've seen it time and time again. Anyone who tries to match 50's energy ends up trending for all the wrong reasons. Right now, the vibe feels like calm before the storm. Every blogger, every fan page, every podcaster is waiting to see what 50 does next. Will he drop a line that flips the script? Post a clip that exposes everything? Or just let his silence burn through the culture while Jim sweats in the spotlight? No matter how it plays out, one thing's certain. 50 reminded everyone why his name still sends chills through the industry. In a game full of loud talkers and short attention spans, he remains the one who can shake the whole internet with a single caption. And as for Jim, he's got two choices. Stay silent and protect what's left, or clap back and risk waking the beast for real. But hey, what do you think? Will Jim hold his ground or back down before it's too late? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this drama is far from over. Hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe so you don't miss the next twist in this wild hip-hop saga. And don't go anywhere. Check out the next video popping up on your screen for even more explosive celebrity drama.